This is just like bumper boats. We're all gonna die. Well, good morning, guys. So I know that I've said in other videos that wherever the tourists go, I go the opposite direction to really immerse myself in the culture of the places that I'm traveling to. But there are exceptions to that, and that's this place. You know, there are a lot of tourist things to do here in Thailand that are actually quite fun, and one of those is the floating market. So this one happens to be just outside of Bangkok. All right, so the first thing that you're gonna see when you come to a place like this to take a boat to the floating market is you're gonna see these little tables here, and they have people like this here. So they're gonna sell you a private boat ride for like 2,500 baht, which is like 82 American dollars. Do not pay that. Negotiate with these people, because a lot of tourists come here and they prey on those tourists and they try to get obviously as much money out of those tourists as they can. So negotiate when you get here for a much better rate. All right, so this is our boat that's going to take us to the market. Thank you. All right, off we go. By that boat. So one of the reasons why I stay away from tourist areas when I travel is because they do prey on tourists, especially if you look like a tourist. So they wanted 2,500 baht per person, which is $82 a person, for us to ride for 1 hour into the floating market, which is a total ripoff. So we negotiated for an hour and a half for 2,500 baht, which is $82 for both of us to go. So again, always negotiate the prices with them. Never pay what they're asking. Guy has a slow loris. Wow! So this is the main part of the floating market here, and there is no rhyme or reason to the way that the boats go down the river here. It's just every boat is kind of crashing into each other, bullying their way through the other boats. This is actually the entertainment of coming down to the floating market. Whoa! Oh, crash! Oh, we're gonna crash. Oh, geez, we're totally scraping along this boat. Here, I'll just give you a hand there. There you go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! Good God. Look at this. This is nuts. Like 4 or 5 people, we just crashed into that boat. Like 4 or 5 boats are trying to turn the corner over here, and they're all crashing into each other. Man, if you're gonna come to the floating market, this is what you want to see. Oh, well, I think we hit a wall. All right, so that's about to smash into us, and it did. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is just like bumper boats. We're all gonna die. So this is the actual floating market. So when you rent these boats, they take you through a bunch of other vendors and down canals, and then when you get to this part, this is what we've come to see. So you only get an hour and a half, or we negotiated an hour and a half. Usually it's an hour or 2 hours, and they'll try to stop and waste time at all the little vendors along the way. Just tell your driver to keep going until you reach this part of the floating market. This is what we came to see. All right, this guy has some beers. So this guy's selling a bunch of food. That girl's selling a bunch of food. Look at this, we are going right into the mix. There's durian fruit and grilled squid and shrimp. This woman over here has hard-boiled eggs and chicken and bananas on that boat, fresh mangoes on that boat. So there's a guy up there with albino Burmese pythons. That's actually pretty cool. Oh, and another woman up there has a slow loris. This is really cool. All right, so more boat gridlock. This is insane. In another area where there's just massive gridlock, and we're just dead stopped at this point. So keep in mind that if you're going to come here, a lot of the hour or 2 hours that you're going to get is literally just stopped in deadlock gridlock. Doctor right there is cooking up some fresh fruit. Fresh milk. Yeah! Smells excellent. It looks good. Pork and milk. Pork and milk. From the same animal, too. All right, we're right back where we started. Whew, that was fun. All right, guys, so we're back on land. You know, I'll tell you, the floating market is a huge tourist trap. The items that you're going to buy at the stores there are so ridiculously overpriced because tourists buy them, and the cost of getting a boat out there is ridiculously overpriced because tourists buy them. But again, you know, a floating market in Thailand, you know, it's so unique to this area that if you're coming to Thailand, you've really got to take some time and go on one just to say you've done it. It was a lot of fun. Now we're going to another touristy thing, and this is the Maeklong Train Market. I've wanted to come here ever since I found out that it existed. It's a market on the train tracks, and when the train comes, the whole market moves to let the train go through. So it is really tight in this market, and it is not Dave sized. So I've got to duck under all these awnings here because I don't fit in this market. So all these carts are like on these wheels with tracks of their own, and that's how they pull them back when the train comes. That's kind of neat. Yeah, look at this. There's some that are all of this is on tracks. That is so cool. Like stuff like this, they have to literally physically pick up and bring back over there when the train comes. There are a lot of cats in this market. There's another. All right, so this stuff is called lychee, and it almost tastes like jellied Mountain Dew. That's good stuff. And then look at this stuff here. Oh, there you go, Jeff. I found your new pants. Right there. So there's all these Thai restaurants right along the tracks here. Hello! That's kind of cool. So it is blistering hot in this market. It's got to be well over 100 degrees in here with all of these people, and then the air temperature is probably in the 90s, and I am 6.5 feet tall, and I keep smashing my head. Still cool to be here, though. All right, so as you can see, it is ridiculously jam-packed. These little storefronts are right on the tracks, and the only way to move through here is on the tracks. So if you ever make it to this market, just be prepared. There's going to be a lot of standing and a lot of stopping. And again, it is blistering hot in here. So just a little FYI if you ever come here. We've moved probably 10 feet in the past, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And then, just like that, the market's over. So the market is really only from that street all the way down there to the street that we came in on. So as far as markets are concerned, this really is not a big market, and to be honest, if the train didn't go through this market, there really would be no reason to come to this market. So, I mean, there's a lot of really cool things. There's a few restaurants, you know, a lot of fish and produce and things like that. Very few souvenir-y type places for tourists, although we did get our silk scarves, but anyway, you get to this block and the market just completely ends, and that's all there is to it. So we're gonna continue down the way we just came and go through the market again and see if we missed anything.
Like these frogs, for instance.
Yep.
You know how many of those things I have in my house?
Yeah. All right, look at these cool masks. Like my entire office is all like masks from different places that I've been to. So I'm gonna pick out a few of these.
All right, so I think I've made some good selections. I'm gonna get that one, I'm gonna get that one, and I'm gonna get that one. Yeah, this is really hot. So you will feel that for days and days afterwards. Very spicy. Yes. Yes, that there is colon blow right there.
All right, so everybody's folding in the awnings in their shops and the train's about to come. Holy crap. And then, just like that, it's over. The train is passed, and then all the vendors put down their awnings, and it's like there wasn't even a train here at all. That was a really cool thing to see in the world, and again, I've wanted to see this since I found out about it. And then just one city block later, and we're back out of that market. It's not a big market at all, but man, it's like 50 degrees cooler out here on the street than it is in there. All right, so we're walking back to the taxi. That was a really fun day of being a tourist here in Thailand. Don't really do the touristy thing, I've said that before, but you know, there are some things that, you know, you just gotta see at least once. And the two things that we did today, and that railroad market and the floating market, was something worth seeing. It actually was. So a little piece of advice for you if you're coming to Bangkok and you want to come see the floating market and the railroad market. They're in the same kind of town. It's about a 10-minute drive away, but if you're coming from Bangkok, don't book through your hotel and don't book through a travel service. Call the taxi company directly and book an all-day taxi, because what'll happen is the hotel or the travel service will charge you much more than the cost of the taxi, and then they'll pocket that money. So find out the name of the taxi company and call them directly and book an all-day taxi that'll wait for you while you're going to both markets, and that's exactly what we did. So anyway guys, that was an awesome day, and until the next adventure from here in Thailand, love the planet, keep your life in balance, and rattle on.